Sexual assault is a pervasive issue that affects countless lives across the globe. While much of the discourse around this topic has focused on female victims, a silent crisis persists in the form of male victims of female-perpetrated sexual assault. This aspect of sexual violence is often underreported and misunderstood, shrouded in silence due to societal stereotypes and stigmas. The very notion that a man can be sexually assaulted by a woman challenges traditional perceptions of gender dynamics and power. Despite the growing recognition of male victimhood in sexual assault cases, there remains a significant gap in awareness and understanding. This lack of visibility means that many male victims suffer in silence, grappling with feelings of shame, confusion, and isolation. The societal narrative that men must always welcome sexual advances and that they cannot be violated by women only compounds the problem, leaving victims with little recourse or support. A culture of disbelief further exacerbates the issue, as male victims are often met with skepticism or outright dismissal when they attempt to share their experiences. This disbelief is rooted in deeply ingrained gender norms that dictate how men and women should behave and interact. As a result, many male victims struggle to find a supportive community or even a sympathetic ear, leading to severe emotional and psychological consequences. Addressing this silent crisis requires a concerted effort to acknowledge the reality of male victims of female-perpetrated sexual assault. It necessitates creating spaces for these men to share their stories without fear of judgment or ridicule. By doing so, we can begin to dismantle the harmful stereotypes that prevent male victims from seeking the help they need and deserve. The prevalence of male victims of female-perpetrated sexual assault is often overshadowed by societal misconceptions. Real-life stories from men who have survived such assaults highlight the complexity and trauma involved.
One story is that of a man who, while intoxicated at a friend's party, was assaulted by a sober female friend. Despite his protests, the assault continued, leaving him grappling with memory loss and self-blame.
Another harrowing account involves a young man who, at the age of 17, was knocked unconscious at a party. A friend's ex-girlfriend took advantage of his vulnerable state to assault him, a scene witnessed by another friend. The trauma of the incident and the struggle to accept what happened have had lasting effects on the victim's mental health and trust in others.
A particularly disturbing story is that of a man coerced into a sexual relationship that lasted for years. His partner used threats of false accusations and self-harm to manipulate him into submission. The psychological damage inflicted by such coercion is profound, affecting the victim's ability to form healthy relationships in the future.
These stories underscore the need for greater awareness and empathy towards male victims of sexual assault. They reveal the wide spectrum of experiences and the diverse tactics used by female perpetrators to exert power and control over their victims. By sharing these stories, we can begin to challenge the pervasive myths that silence male victims and prevent them from seeking justice and healing. The stigma attached to male victims of sexual assault by women is a significant barrier to reporting and healing. Many men fear that their experiences will be met with disbelief or ridicule, causing them to remain silent. This societal skepticism is rooted in traditional gender norms that view men as always willing participants or physically incapable of being overpowered by women. These misconceptions not only invalidate the experiences of male victims, but also reinforce harmful stereotypes about masculinity. Disbelief is further compounded by the portrayal of men in media and popular culture. Often, male victimhood is trivialized or depicted as a humorous scenario, undermining the seriousness of the trauma involved. This trivialization contributes to a culture where male victims are hesitant to report their assaults, fearing that they will not be taken seriously or that their masculinity will be questioned.
The impact of stigma is particularly evident in cases where male victims do choose to speak out. They may encounter dismissive attitudes from authorities or friends who struggle to understand or accept the reality of their experiences. In some instances, victims have even been blamed for their assault, with others suggesting that they should have been able to defend themselves or that they must have somehow consented.
Overcoming these barriers requires a shift in societal perceptions and attitudes towards male victims of sexual assault. It involves recognizing the validity of their experiences and providing them with the same level of support and understanding afforded to female victims. By challenging these stigmas, we can create an environment where all victims feel safe to come forward and seek help. The emotional and psychological impact of sexual assault on male victims is profound and long-lasting. Many survivors experience a range of emotions, including shame, guilt, and confusion. These feelings are often compounded by societal messages that question the legitimacy of their victimhood. As a result, male victims may internalize these doubts, leading to self-blame and further emotional distress. The trauma of sexual assault can manifest in various ways, affecting every aspect of a victim's life. Many survivors struggle with depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, which can hinder their ability to function in daily life.
The betrayal of trust involved in such assaults can also lead to difficulties in forming and maintaining relationships, as victims may become wary of others' intentions. The psychological impact extends beyond the immediate aftermath of the assault, often affecting victims for years to come. Some may experience flashbacks or intrusive thoughts, making it challenging to move forward. Others may turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as substance abuse in an attempt to numb their pain.
Understanding the depth of these wounds is crucial in providing appropriate support and care for male victims of sexual assault. It is essential to validate their experiences and acknowledge the unique challenges they face. By doing so, we can help survivors begin the healing process and rebuild their lives. Section 5. Society's role in silencing victims. Society plays a significant role in the silencing of male victims of sexual assault. Cultural norms and gender stereotypes create an environment where men are discouraged from expressing vulnerability or admitting to being victimized. The pervasive belief that men should be strong and invulnerable can prevent victims from acknowledging their experiences and seeking help. Traditional notions of masculinity perpetuate the idea that men should welcome any sexual attention, regardless of the circumstances. This belief not only invalidates the experiences of male victims, but also reinforces harmful attitudes that contribute to their silence. As a result, many male victims feel isolated and unsupported, unsure of where to turn for assistance. Media representations further exacerbate the issue by often depicting male victimhood as a joke or an anomaly. Such portrayals trivialize the trauma experienced by male victims and contribute to a culture of disbelief. They reinforce the notion that male victims are less deserving of empathy and support, making it difficult for them to come forward. To combat this societal silencing, it is essential to challenge the stereotypes and misconceptions that prevent male victims from speaking out. This involves promoting a more inclusive understanding of victimhood and recognizing the validity of all survivors' experiences. By doing so, we can create a more supportive and empathetic environment for male victims of sexual assault. Section 6. Breaking the silence support systems for male victims. Support systems play a crucial role in helping male victims of sexual assault break their silence and begin the healing process. However, the availability and accessibility of these resources can be limited due to societal misconceptions about male victimhood. Traditional support networks may not always be equipped to address the unique needs of male survivors, further discouraging them from seeking help. Organizations dedicated to supporting male victims are essential in providing specialized care and advocacy. These organizations offer a range of services, including counseling, support groups, and legal assistance, tailored to the specific challenges faced by male survivors. By creating safe spaces where men can share their experiences without fear of judgment, these organizations help to dismantle the stigma surrounding male victimhood. In addition to formal support systems, informal networks of friends and family can also play a vital role in a victim's recovery. Offering a compassionate and understanding ear can make a significant difference in helping survivors feel validated and supported. It is important for loved ones to educate themselves about the realities of male sexual assault and to approach the topic with empathy and sensitivity. Encouraging male victims to seek help is an important step in their journey towards healing. By raising awareness about available resources and fostering a supportive community, we can empower survivors to come forward and access the assistance they need. This not only aids in their recovery, but also contributes to a broader cultural shift towards recognizing and addressing male victimhood. Section 7. The path to healing, seeking help and justice. For male victims of sexual assault, the path to healing is often fraught with challenges. Seeking help can be a daunting step, especially when faced with societal disbelief and stigma. However, accessing appropriate support and legal recourse is crucial in helping survivors process their trauma and begin the journey towards recovery. Therapeutic interventions such as counseling and therapy are vital in addressing the emotional and psychological impact of sexual assault. Professional support can provide survivors with coping strategies and tools to manage their trauma, helping them rebuild their sense of self-worth and confidence. Therapy also offers a safe space for victims to explore their feelings and work through the complex emotions associated with their experiences. In addition to mental health support, pursuing justice can be an essential aspect of the healing process for some survivors. However, the legal system can present significant barriers for male victims, who may fear disbelief or dismissal of their cases. Advocacy groups and legal professionals can offer guidance and support, helping survivors navigate the complexities of the legal process. Ultimately, the decision to seek help and pursue justice is a deeply personal one, influenced by a range of factors unique to each survivor's experience. It is essential for society to respect and support these choices, providing a compassionate and understanding environment that empowers victims to take control of their healing journey. Section 8. Towards awareness. Changing perceptions. Raising awareness about male victims of female-perpetrated sexual assault is a critical step towards changing societal perceptions and dismantling harmful stereotypes. By challenging the myths and misconceptions surrounding male victimhood, we can create a more inclusive and supportive environment for all survivors of sexual violence. Education is key in promoting a broader understanding of the issue. This includes incorporating discussions about male victimhood into sexual education programs and public awareness campaigns. By highlighting the reality of male victims and the unique challenges they face, we can foster greater empathy and compassion within society. Media representation also plays a significant role in shaping public perceptions. Positive and accurate portrayals of male victims in films, television, and literature can help to normalize their experiences and counteract the trivialization and stigma often associated with male victimhood. By showcasing diverse narratives, the media can contribute to a more balanced and inclusive portrayal of sexual assault. Engaging men in conversations about gender, power, and victimhood is another crucial aspect of raising awareness. Encouraging open and honest dialogue can help to challenge traditional notions of masculinity and promote a more nuanced understanding of victimhood. By involving men in these discussions, we can work towards creating a culture of respect and support for all survivors. Section 9. Conclusion. A call for change. The issue of men being sexually assaulted by women is a complex and often overlooked aspect of sexual violence. The stories of male survivors reveal the profound impact of these assaults and the challenges they face in seeking support and justice. It is imperative that society recognizes the reality of male victimhood and works to create an environment where all survivors feel validated and supported. Addressing this issue requires a multifaceted approach involving education, awareness, and advocacy. By challenging societal stereotypes and promoting a more inclusive understanding of victimhood, we can create a culture that respects and supports all survivors of sexual assault. This involves acknowledging the unique experiences and needs of male victims and providing them with the resources and support they deserve. Ultimately, creating change requires a collective effort from individuals, communities, and institutions. By working together, we can break the silence surrounding male victimhood and empower survivors to come forward and seek the help they need. This not only aids in their healing journey, but also contributes to a broader movement towards ending sexual violence in all its forms. Let us all commit to being allies in this fight for justice and equity. By standing together and advocating for change, we can create a safer and more compassionate world for all survivors of sexual assault.